Hi Disney Dreamers, it's Cress here with another magical build in Eternity Isle. If you're new, thank you so much for clicking that thumbnail. Welcome. If you're one of my returning subscribers, I am so happy you've come back for another cozy build. I appreciate you so much. Today we'll be decorating the beautiful Leafy Cottage house in Disney Dreamlight Valley. It's such a quaint little house skin, and with its cute little sparkles and overgrown mossy look, it has all the PIXIE Hollow vibes. If you enjoy cozy vibes or you're here for inspo, please consider subscribing so you don't miss out on more speed builds and walkthroughs. So let's begin. The minute I saw this in the premium shop, I knew exactly where I was going to put it. So even though it's not a princess house, it looks like something straight out of PIXIE Hollow, so it just felt perfect to put it right next to Rapunzel's tower in my Fairycore Princess Lagoon in Eternity Isle. I've been saving up my daisy coins, but when I built this, I only had enough to buy 3 of the custom rock rugs. So you'll see me use the rocky terrain items as placeholders for this build. Because it's such a cozy house skin, I wanted to tuck it away and make it feel enclosed. So I used the magical frozen willows in the back and these pretty ancient flowering trees in the front. I love the way they create an arch naturally, making a little cozy nook for the house. I know you're probably sick of seeing them, but I originally intended to use these water rugs again, as you can see here. But when I finally switched out the rocky terrain path, when I had enough daisy coins, the whole thing just felt too cluttered with color. So I designed another Touch of Magic pond rug, as you probably saw at the beginning of the video, and I replaced the stream rugs with those instead. I thought that those nestling pear trees were so whimsical and super cute for this build, so I moved one of those from Ancient's Landing to the lagoon. For the most part, this was a pretty simple build in terms of furniture items. I mostly just used a lot of flowers and foliage. While I usually use the Forest of Valor ferns, again in the walkthrough, you'll see that I ended up switching these out for the Sunlit Plateau ferns. I really like the contrast of these ferns with the green of the grass. I like my Fairycore builds to feel almost jungle-core. I like them cluttered with natural elements, so I use the butterfly flowers and peaceful meadow tree clusters and fallen logs and tree stumps. Originally, I used this one Touch of Magic rug with a few colored stones for the whole path, but the color was just a bit too overwhelming for the look that I was going for. So I made another design with just the gray stones and the stars to intersperse with the other rug. I really liked how it turned out. You'll be able to see it in the walkthrough at the end. These little rock clusters I used to create a little path off to the side that leads to the lagoon's pond. Since this build was somewhat inspired by Tinkerbell, I used the pumpkin, ottoman, and spool seat to line the path, kind of like lost things that Tink can use to create all kinds of wonderful inventions. And it wouldn't be Fairycore without the vine lamps, of course. I'm not sure if I've talked about these small mossy jungle trees in any of my other speed builds, but I love them. They can go on pathing, they're only 4 squares in size, and they're so dainty and whimsical looking, they just look like fairy trees. Since, as I mentioned, I switched out the stream rug later on, I had these Lion King waterfalls pouring into a small ponds I created using a touch of magic rug. I kept the candles, but I ended up adding clusters of cherry blossoms to the touch of magic rug to look like piles of cherry blossoms dotting the lawn. This is kind of a throwback to the cherry blossom piles in Animal Crossing New Horizons. And just like in my fairy garden in the Glade of Trust, the bathtub was a must. I would have used the glass tub, but weirdly enough, it can't go on top of a rug, so I used this Beauty and the Beast tub instead. I've had a few people ask in my Instagram comments and DMs how long a build takes me, so I wanted to kind of talk about it a little bit here. These speed builds are just that, a sped up version of my building process. What you don't see are the really long pauses where I just kind of sit around and stare at the screen, thinking about what I want to use next. I do a lot of thinking and mulling things over before I even put something down. I just figured you didn't want to sit and watch a screen of nothing happening for like 10 minutes. This whole build took me a little over an hour, and here you've seen me condense it down to 15 minutes. So my advice to you, if you're worried about the time, is just to enjoy your own building process and embrace your creativity. We all have different ways we play and decorate this beautiful Disney game. I love these Monsters Inc. lamps. They just naturally look so Fairycore to me. But they are a bit of a cooler white, so I decided they'd look better lining this path off to the side of the house rather than the main path to the house, which has warmer colors. For this little nook next to the lagoon pond, I used these pretty grassy flower beanbag chairs that I used in my Fairycore Plaza build. I credited the Reddit user who created this design in the description of this video, so be sure to check it out. The glow of the starlight projectors adds a little extra touch of magic, but I hid the actual item in the beach grass, and it actually looks so cute, like another lost item for Tinkerbell to tinker with. For the flowers for this build, I decided to use green, blue, and pink luminescent flowers. I love these flowers. They are the ultimate in whimsy. But I didn't want to add too many because I already had a lot of foliage, so I tried to go for a good balance of light and color. If you're recreating this build and you feel that I've added too much color or not enough, absolutely feel free to make any adjustments you'd like. And with the flowers in place, our leafy cottage is finished. Now I'll take you on a little walkthrough of the build at sunset. Let me know what you think of this build in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. If you're still here, thank you so much for sticking around. I am so appreciative of every single person who has subscribed and liked and commented on my videos. Thank you so much for supporting my small channel. Every interaction helps it grow. If you've enjoyed this video and haven't subscribed yet, please consider clicking that subscribe button. Thank you again, and I'll see you next time.